Okay, wire time. Hi, internet people. Today I'm going to be working on Mr. Dose. If you're new to my channel, up floating above me is a link to the last video where I worked on my 91 MR2 Turbo project car, who is called Mr. Dose. As I mentioned before, I'm about to turn the boost up on the MR2. However, I want to take care of all the supporting mods first to make sure it is safe and ready to do so. The biggest job I still have left to do is to drop the fuel tank on this car, clean it out, and upgrade and replace the fuel pump and strainer on it, which I have ordered. I ordered a Mark IV Supra Turbo fuel pump. It's direct bolt-in and plugs in electronically, so there's no modifications required. But I still gotta drop the tank in it. I have some other parts right here first. Before I get to work, I gotta clean out my old swampy buddy over here so I can get the temperature reasonable. Yeah, so there's no disassembling this thing. I just tried taking these screws out to see if the lid would come off so you can change the little elements or at least clean them. And it has so much hard water poop built up around the top of it that I couldn't pry the lid off without breaking it. So I'm just gonna run it as is. It stinks like fish in my garage, but it's all right. Let's get to work. First order of business, since I'm taking care of fuel, I also need to take care of spark. It might seem like common sense what plug wire goes where, but you'd be amazed how many times stupid happens. So the cap is labeled 1 through 4. It makes sense to label the plug wires according to the cap. Kind of like how it makes sense to also spell out your number instead of just typing the number. And this is the source of one of the small oil leaks I still had left on this car. I did replace the O-ring that is on the shaft that actually goes inside of the head, but there's 2 more seals underneath here, and one of them is the source of the oil leak that I've had on this car, making a mess. Common sense would have dictated that a new distributor cap would have also came with a new seal. However, there's only a little piece of paper in here that says "Don't eat me." Well, me sideways. Good luck trying to get that O-ring anytime soon. I do have the inner one, I think, though, and that's the one that's actually leaking oil. This outer one just is like a dust seal to keep dust out of inside there. I take that back. Toyota dealership will have it in by 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's what's up. The rotor on this thing is held in of 2 delicate little screws that look like they'd strip super easy. I don't think there's ever been a more inappropriate time for it. That's what he said. Look how crusty the tip of this thing was. It's all nasty and aged like an old penny, and it's got a bunch of little pits in it, like score marks, like it's wearing away. Based on how much oil was leaking and where it's seeping from, this sucks. The O-ring is not in a fun location. You can see from looking at it here in the mirror, it's behind this gear. I already replaced the one, like I said, that's on the inner shaft that goes into the side of the head, but there's another one that's inside here internally that's the cause of this leak. I just got off the phone with the Toyota dealership, and that seal that I need inside the distributor, you can't get it unless you buy the entire distributor. Luckily though, I found it on Toys R Us. He actually sells a kit that has every seal and the little bearing for the distributor on this car. When I started filming this video, I assumed it was just gonna be an O-ring in there, and you should never assume shit. So, oh well, it's ordered, it'll be here in a few days. Look how nasty that is and how clean this is.
difference on this car. It's so much more responsive and it pulls a lot harder in the up RPM now.
Hi, as you can see by that piece of nature, It's the following day. Got some more parts to install, so let's get at it. This has to go in its new home now. I just had to say goodbye to the Supra. They came and picked it up. My week is up with that car. You'll be seeing the review on it here soon. I think that was the legit saddest I've ever been giving back a car after doing a review on it. I may or may not have teared up a little bit, and I know that sounds really pathetic, but it's true. I really like that car. All right, got my ears. Look, it says MR2 on the top. Focus. There you go. It was not focusing. It says MR2, 3D printed on the top. Cool. I'm not really a big fan of how the fact you're probably going to see the wires on the back side of this though. There we go. Why are these things so delicate, Toyota? Why couldn't you make it more durable? I seriously think people would buy an MR2 just if they knew this wasn't broken on it. Oh, mine is broken. I thought mine was perfect. It's actually got all kinds of pieces that are broken. That was the only thing that was holding all of this together. I just super glued it because it crumbled when I took it apart. Boom, that's what's up. It plastic welded all the broken tabs. It might look like a mogwai chewed on it, but I had to harvest some material from somewhere, and you have to use the same plastic or else it won't adhere to the other stuff as well. But you can see that one has been rebuilt, and then I also rebuilt this guy over here. And then both of these towers right here have been reconstructed, and the hardware fits in there perfectly. And I just fixed that little chip that was in the front corner right here, sanded it down and shot some trim black so you can't even tell. Toyota doesn't produce these pieces anymore, so I produced these pieces. Okay, back to work. I have the worst OCD ever. Here, look what I did. This bundle right here are all the wires associated with these two gauges. I'm trying to make it look as clean and route it the same as factory as possible. I'm not going to use one of these little outer plastic jackets though, because each one of these is in its own casing and that's just redundant. I'm so happy with where these are going. I don't like the A-pillar pod gauges, so this is going to look good. It's going to be clean. I think the trim black is dry. Yep. You won't really see this part that I fixed because it's hidden by the steering wheel, but I couldn't leave it broken because that's just not quality. The easiest way for me to do this is to make a template. So I got some Sharpies finally that I got from Gear Wrench. Industrial. Give these things a shot. Why did I connect all the wires? I do dumb things. I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to route these wires. It's time for arts and crafts. I don't want the face of the gauge to stick out any further than right about there because then it'll smack the back side of the steering wheel, or if my fingers get crazy. That could be taken out of context. Alright, so I know it might seem like I'm dragging this out with these videos, trying to get the boost turned up on this car, but this stuff is super time consuming to do, and I'm not gonna rush and half-ass it just for YouTube. So I'm doing it right. I'm taking my time because I care, and quality matters when you're building cars. It looks like a helmet for a frog. A very weird frog. Okay, template off. Center a hole to the front. That's spot on. I would put it down on the table, but I don't want to crack the pegs I just repaired. There we go. This gauge came with these tiny itty bitty little baby Allen head screws. That'll probably be good. I don't want cracked plastic. Last step, this bracket is not going to help with this thing. News team assembled. Look, I even wrapped up the wires so they don't chafe on anything. Ready to install on the car. Hopefully this is the last time I have to route these wires, because this is a super pain to do. Oh geez. Oh, come on. Ouch. Electric nail file for the win. I had to sand down this stud right here because it was a little bit too rough around the edges to fit into its hole on the bottom piece right here. This is so nerve-wracking. I don't want to crack this plastic, so I gotta tighten that like super gently. There we go. That's what's up. This is nice and solid now. I have a serious problem. I can't just leave things alone and say good enough. It's been 2 hours. I did something. I should be putting the car back together right now, but I can't. I have OCD. I can't help it. I started replacing my worn out, faded instrument cluster bulbs. These are on right now. They're the original incandescents. These are LEDs. I just replaced them. I can read my gauges now. I had to do it because the 2 gauges on the steering column have white LEDs in them, and it's not gonna match the gauges behind them, so now they'll all match. See that big box right there? I got something. This right here is a part for Sir Codsworth. That's all you get to see. Spoiler alert. I gotta start putting this back together. I have to have this video out for you guys tomorrow, and it's 6:30 in the evening. The boost controller is not hooked up yet. Doesn't matter, I can't hook it up anyway because I gotta drop the fuel tank. I mean, I'm hooking it up, but I can't turn the boost up until I drop the fuel tank. I'm having fun, alright? That's what's important. I'm justifying why there's progress made. These are the bulbs right here. They're number 74 type LED. They're super tiny, and there's a lot of them. That is so much better. Are they dimmable? Yep, they're dimmable. Oh man, that looks good. I even did each and every one of these little bulbs down here for LED, so everything is done now. Same with the ignition cylinder light. The only thing that sucks is the bulb is only on one side, so it's kind of dim over here. I could set up another bulb over there, but that's a lot of work. These bulbs down here are different, as well as the hazard light, so I took a picture of them. I'm gonna have to order these ones, so that way they're all done and they all match. I think I might do these green though still, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I do them white to match up here, or keep them green, just green LED? Did you know that today is Dos de Mayo? 2nd of May, the day that I'm filming this right now, and probably the day you're watching it, because I'm gonna upload this the same day. Means I only got a little bit of time left to get some work done. Wake up and give it the medicine. This isn't actually coffee or tea. It's disgusting gut health medicine. Tastes like pepperoni dog farts. This is the last thing I have to do. I gotta build a small harness so that way these new gauges can get some power and make them illuminate when I turn on my headlights. This white one and black one and red one is for power, ground, and headlight. Okay, if I had an aftermarket ECU, the yellow is for my AFRs for data logging, and purple is to attack signal for RPM. Okay, well I don't have an aftermarket ECU. I thought I was gonna get to nerd out with some wiring, but this is pretty basic. Ground, power, and signal from the parking lights. Okay, wire time. There you go. My nails are getting so ratchet, I need to redo these. But I have wires to take care of, so I gotta do wires first. Ooh. Please hold, I gotta go down on these wires real quick. Pretty good at it, so. Much better. All right, now that this is all wrapped and protected. Ow! I just got the shifter stick in my ear hole. That sucked. I got a little carried away with my wrap job. Went way too far. It's all right. Okay. I'm making this so it'll be easy to disconnect from the radio harness for whatever reason, if I want to change out the head unit or if I want to do something different with the gauges. So I'm going to make this little tiny jumper bridge that will splice directly into the power and the ground going to the stereo. Hook up the ground right here. There's ground. There we go. Power hooked up to power. Ground hooked up to ground. Alright, let's see if the gauges turn on. Yay. Sorry for the buzzer. They turn on! Yay! Ta-da! Check it out. They match too. Look at the color. White is dead on. Yay! Oh, I'm so happy. They turned on and they look good too. With that said, I have to stop because I have to edit this. So the next video for the MR2 will be dropping that fuel tank and upgrading the fuel pump so I can finish turning this boost up. Yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!